The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Wake up, Cowboys Nation. Welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. In the SWBC studio, I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, Aisha Morrison. Ladies, I wish could be with more energy today, but unfortunately the Cowboys come home with a loss from Carolina. It's their first road loss to Carolina since 2018. 30-27 the final against the Panthers, and I know we're going to obviously break down what happened, but I mean, ladies, just talk about overall thoughts. You could blame either the run defense, pass defense, offensive miscues at times, but I mean, it was really just a team loss. And Christy, I'll start with you since you were there on the sidelines.
Yeah, they were getting out physical. Yeah. Both sides of the line of scrimmage all day. One thing we had said about the Cowboys' run game and Javonte and that, it was the yards after contact, always moving forward, a 2-yard gain being a 6-yard gain. The script was flipped yesterday, and it was Rico and the Panthers that were getting the yards after contact. And this, with the Cowboys' offense, you could tell pretty early that this was going to be whoever had the ball last was probably going to win the game because the offenses were having a lot of success. But I think the key moments were there in the fourth quarter. Carolina gets the ball with just over 9 minutes to play. The game is tied 27-27, and the Cowboys' defense actually made a stand, a huge stand. Mm-hmm. And the Cowboys get the ball with 8 minutes and 18 seconds left in terrific field position on their own 46. And 2 horrible plays, tackles for loss on these passes. Sets up 3rd and long, a screen pass, way short, have to punt. Carolina gets the ball at its own 14, bad field position with 6:07 left to play. Just matriculate the ball down the field, bleed the clock. Cowboys defense can't make a stand or a play to get off the field. And that's all she wrote. It was just dismal. I thought the defense was dismal yesterday, other than that one stand. And just disappointing because the one thing that coaches and players were saying going into the game was it's a physical team, this Carolina, and you got out-physicaled.
Aisha, don't start this morning.
What?
Don't start this morning.
What? No, Christy said it. They lost the line of scrimmage all day. Those interior guys of the Dallas offensive line, really struggled. We talked about some of the gentlemen that, the Panthers have on that interior. They have a good rotation of guys. And, I mean, they just ate your lunch money all day. If I'm not mistaken, Rico wasn't contacted, 6.2 yards before he even got tapped. Anybody said any sweet nothings to him?
Please.
Pinched him?
Please.
Anything? I mean, that was rough in itself. And I know we're going to talk about, the Dallas defense got 3 stops in this game, but it's so unbalanced, y'all, that I'm at a point to where, we're gonna break down the offense because we have to. 27 points is enough in the NFL. Yep. Mm-hmm. 27 points is enough on the road in the NFL to win regular games, and I'm very concerned about how Shoddy handles keeping this team together, because if we see it, let's just keep it a bill. Mm-hmm. If we feel sick to our stomachs when Carolina gets the ball with 6 minutes, 7 seconds left, and we can feel I don't think the defense is going to get a stop, I think we'll be remiss to think that the offense doesn't have some of that dread and some of that feeling as well. And football is a machine. It's a balanced machine. Everything begets another. That's how I've learned. It's very Barney style. Right now, you're not playing complimentary football in any way, shape, or form. And just to see them just drive down the field every single time, hitting you in the mouth, it was exhausting. And I was very disappointed in the loss yesterday. I was more pissed. I'm a little bit more disappointed today. What you got, Bree?
Definitely what Christy and Aisha said is what Schottenheimer said. Disappointing. It's disappointing because talking about complimentary football, the Cowboys did that for the first time last week. I didn't hop on the it's just the Jets train because I didn't want to take away from what we saw, because it was things happening that you've been asking, and you didn't see that at all yesterday. The offense is continuing to be an elite offense. They're the number one offense for a reason. Outside the opening drive and outside that last series there, they were moving the ball like they're supposed to do. And it's unfair to ask Dak Prescott in this offense, who we keep forgetting are very injured right now and missing a lot of key pieces. This time only 2 offensive linemen, but you still have no CeeDee Lamb out there, and you're missing Kevontae Turpin, who has been a big part of this offense as well.
Absolutely.
But you're finding other ways. The broadcast team yesterday was talking about how the Wisconsin boys getting things started, right? Lipke getting his first reception was huge yesterday. And that play, you saw Schottenheimer get in his bag. Ferguson still in the mix. Like, he's on fire. Pickens, he's doing everything you want him to do, to the point where I'm scared. We'll get in that conversation, because I'm like, he's playing a little too good, because everyone's gonna come after Pickens, and we know how this operates. So I'm like, that's just facts. But when, to Aisha's point, the recipe to win complimentary football, you're allowing a little over 30.6, I believe it is, for giving up to the teams, and then you're scoring average 29 points. So that's not a recipe to win football games. And it's not fair to ask that you have to put up 40 points to win a football game. It's unreal, and it feels like you're wasting an MVP type of season for Dak Prescott, and that is
It's making me sick. It's making me sick.
It's hard to watch.
I think we can all agree that this offense has done what they needed to do to pull this team to win. You look at the numbers alone. I think this was Todd Archer who tweeted this. Since starts were first tracked in 1950, Dak Prescott is the first quarterback to have 11 or more passing touchdowns or rushing touchdowns, 0 turnovers, and a non-winning record over a 3-start span. To dive even deeper, the Cowboys are the only team in the NFL scoring 30 points per game and allowing 30 points per game. If you look at that math, the math is not mathing for me. But just specifically, we've talked about, how these guys respond from drive to the next drive. And this offense did what they needed to do. Obviously the first one, they have to punt, they come back, and get points on the board. But this defense, run defense specifically, you had a Rico Dowdle who was talking smack from the start of the week, and he stood on business. The first undrafted free agent since, I believe it was 1970, to have back-to-back 200 scrimmage yards. Hello.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Rico Dowdle in this run defense?
He played, y'all.
Hate you.
You hear me? The defensive line, the front seven was just played really poor yesterday. You saw in the interior, the defensive tackles, they were getting reached. You saw a lot of arm tackles, and really what it was is that these guys were just reaching out in the last minute. They weren't disengaging and shedding fast enough. So again, the fingertips of the defensive tackles are touching Rico as he goes by, and if the fingertips are touching, then that means the linebacker's chest is about to get caved in. So the linebackers also, too, they weren't fast enough to the punch yesterday. I felt like there were times when I rewatched the game last night that the defensive tackles are looking for the linebackers to come fill and help them out, but there were a lot of the time they were late to fill their rush lanes, and so you got bad angles, you got bad tackling, and Rico broke through to the second level too much. When you start looking at the box score, you start seeing a lot of DBs with high tackle amounts.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Big Mama know that. That you don't want to see.
That's bad.
That's not what you want to see. And the edges, man, these edges really struggled yesterday to get off blocks, to really shed and to set the edge. But, a lot of these big runs from them came from the interior.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's times where the edges are like, man, I can feel the interior struggling. So they're trying to go inside and help, and they're getting pinned inside. And that turns into 6, 7, 8-yard gains. One thing that stood out to me when you look just looking at the base level of numbers, third down efficiency for the Carolina Panthers, they were 3 of 8. don't let that make you feel good, because they had 14 rushing first downs and 11 passing first downs. They had 27 first downs. They weren't even getting a third down.
Right.
They weren't even getting a third down. It was first down on 2nd and 5. And that was just, it was so decimating to deal with all yesterday. And again, Bryce Young had a really simple day. He just handed the ball off a million times and made a couple of key passes. But the run defense, it really starts with the front 7 and them not playing together, and there being so much miscommunication. I mean, you see so many times guys, like, I don't know if you ladies saw it as well, Bree and Christy, that they're trying to communicate to each other late into the play clock. You hear me? So if if an offense sees that, they're gonna run at you because you're not set. And there was plenty of times they weren't set. So that's what I saw initially from the run defense. It's just not good enough, y'all. It's not.
Your film review is not going to be fun once you get even.
I'm trying to decide if I want to watch it. Because I mean,
but you need to.
pain.
I know.
Pain.
Yeah, it's one of the hazards of the job.
I know. I watched the broadcast view last night, and it just made me sad, low key. And I don't know, my therapist gonna work it overtime. What y'all got?
Well, you were with Rico, and he was right. They wasn't buckled up.
So what?
No,
Forgot
but
he did say that post game.
But if I could, that was a mic drop moment for sure. Just to kind of put in perspective what he has done these last 2 weeks, including yesterday against the Cowboys. So when he signed in free agency with the Panthers, it was a 1-year deal, and it's $2.75 million guaranteed. Okay, but like a lot of 1-year deals, including Javonte Williams with the Cowboys, you have performance incentives, okay? So I'm going to share his performance incentives with you. The first one is an extra $500,000, very nice chunk of change, for 800 yards from scrimmage.
800.
800 yards from scrimmage in the past 2 weeks.
That's already.
He's well over halfway there. And another $500,000 for 950 yards from scrimmage, another $500,000 for 1,100 yards from scrimmage, $1 million from 1,350 yards from scrimmage. So just kind of put in perspective what he's done compared to what the expectations were with the Panthers, you know? I mean, he wasn't even the starter.
Yeah.
I mean, if Chuba Hubbard were healthy the last couple weeks, he would have been the starter. So, Rico did the right thing. His agent did the right thing in terms of these performance incentives. But I think there are going to be a lot of backs that might hit their incentives against the defense for the Cowboys if they don't buckle up. Sorry, but it was just bad. The Cowboys line, it was just moving backwards, both sides.
They were getting
just
worked.
Can't have it.
Yeah.
They were getting worked, and it wasn't like it took. The difference is it didn't take him time to get into rhythm out of the jump. Like the stats were crazy. Like the first 3 carries were like, it's gonna be a long day. And he wasn't just hurting you in the run game. They were using him.
That's the thing.
As a pass catcher, and I was like, when Rico become a wide receiver? I didn't see that here.
They didn't utilize him well.
We should have seen it.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
That's why they was doing it.
I'm sick of you.
36-yard catch I think came in the third quarter, and I said, he is rolling, and it was a revenge game. I don't care what anybody says, and he won it. Everybody was talking about, they got the best of us. Kenny Clark was my player to watch because he was kind of had a little fire in him in the locker room about the comments made by Rico, and they didn't back it up. And I think we're having the same conversations about this defense, about setting the edge, about the interior lines. And when Kenny Clark is not fantastic and when Osa is not fantastic, this is the results. And that's not okay. More questions and answers for Matt Eberflus after this game.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Wait, we're going to hold on to that in the second segment. We'll be right back with more Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign on the SWBC studio.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Cowboys Nation, head to Miller Lighthouse at AT&T Stadium for a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Watch the Dallas Cowboys face off against the Broncos in Denver on Sunday, October 26th. Doors open at 2 p.m. and kickoff is at 3:25. Enjoy a performance by the DCC, Slurpee samples, $5 Miller Lights, and more. Claim your free ticket at dallascowboys.com/watch party.
Wake up!
That's cool.
I
They-
love me
that's
some 7-Eleven.
Slurpee samples on Aisha's birthday. That is so.
That was
at the watch
Yeah,
party.
I ain't had a
Nice
Slurpee
of
in
the
so
team
long.
at 7-Eleven to do that for your birthday.
Stop pointing at it.
Are you gonna go?
To what? The watch party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read exciting enough for you.
Yeah, let's try again.
If they win next week, I might go. But I'm not about to set myself up to be sad.
She gonna be drinking all these Slurpees in the
I'm
corner,
not
right?
gonna set myself up to be sad.
You can always add to this list.
Well, first of all, if I'm gonna get any type of Slurpee, it needs to be Eskimo Hood or something like that.
What's Eskimo
what?
hood? You said Eskimo hood?
If I'm gonna get something that's frozen and blended and
Like a
sweet
snowball.
and stuff, it might need to have a little bit
That's
of a
a real-
little in it. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's
might
how
have to give me a-
margaritas were invented.
I was about to say I might have to give me a grown folks
I like
drink.
margarita.
If y'all
Invented in Dallas, by the way. You're welcome.
Oh, how cool!
Like that. Anyways,
I
all right.
didn't know that.
Cowboys. Back to this unfortunate loss. Cowboys fall to the Panthers 30-27 the final. And Bree brought up a great point. I mean, you look at the numbers, the Cowboys gave up more than double, almost double the amount of total yards that the Cowboys offense even had. Rushing offense, the Carolina Panthers were able to run the ball effectively, obviously. 216 rushing yards for them in total. But talk about this defense. What did this loss reveal about this defense, Christy?
Christy,
Well,
Bree?
it's just more than pointing the finger at the pass defense, and I think I've shared this before several times on the podcast. But with Cowboys Radio, we have a little saying. It's like everybody's got problems, but when the problems aren't fixed and addressed, then you got issues. So the first month of the season, you can say we got problems. Because, you can say, all right, new system, new coordinator, new players, everyone kind of getting adjusted, injuries in particular in the secondary. But now you're 6 games in. Y'all, we got issues. And that's a difference. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that the issues, that you can't fix them, but You hadn't shown yet that you
Yeah.
can, and that's what's worrisome.
That sounded like my mama when you used to get in trouble, and she's be like, we got some issues. Yeah.
I've heard that one too.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm screaming.
There's no magic button, and there's no thing on this defense where you like Christy's point, where you're kind of harping on the secondary, right? They're healthy now. There's nothing that you can say like, okay, the secondary just has to do this. The linebackers just have to do this. The interior just has to do this. The edges, like, it is so many different things right now. And I don't think it's fair. I might get attacked. Social media was going a little crazy about Matt Eberflus. He just has to go. Okay. So if he goes, then what? The defense just gets better going into week 7, and then somebody else who hasn't been with his team comes in? No, I don't think that's the answer. At this point, you got what you got. And I know there's can be some people who step up, but Christy, I was actually thinking about messaging you yesterday when I was, do the Cowboys, like, when's the last time the Cowboys have fired a coordinator?
Oh, during a season?
They don't
I'd
get
have to
down
think
like
about
that.
that.
Maybe it was back in the day during
I know.
Wade
Boy,
Phillips' time.
the Eagles fired their offensive
They
coordinator.
don't mess around over there. They
Wow.
don't mess around over
Of course,
there.
he was new, you know. I mean, to the play calling
Yeah.
and stuff. Not
The firing
the play
thing
calling.
was what I was like. That's what everyone, you know, as fans, they just get him out of there. But then you really think about let's be calm. Like, then what? But I do think, to your point, Christy, something's got to change, and I think you hear the respect Schottenheimer has for Eberflus and all the people that he brought with him from Chicago in here, and having the faith. And even last night saying that he believes in the scheme, that he believes the players still believe in the scheme. And that could be a whole different conversation, because I was hearing other things in the locker room last night. But I think it's a fair question if maybe he needs to take a step back from the play calling at least, and just at this point just try something new, get something in there, because I think you're seeing not enough changes. And to be able to take a step forward last week and then take 3 steps back this week and kind of just feel like there's no answers, I don't think it's fair to this team. And I think he is, despite what you might hear, is losing the locker room just a little bit.
Who would step in and play call, though, if you're saying
that's
Eberflus
the
would step
thing.
back?
I would think it would be, if it was someone in house, I would think it would be White Cotton.
It could be.
I would assume he's the most tenured in a sense, but even at that, I mean, the issue, I think it's a mixture of two things. I think it's the schematics and what they're being asked to do, and also too, let's go take it a bit further, is that there's been multiple defensive coordinators over the last few years, and so guys have not really had an opportunity to learn a system, stay in a system, grow in a system. It is ever revolving and changing, and guys are having to adjust. I understand that's football. I understand that that's football. I understand that's a part of the job and everything, but I say it once, I'm going to say it again. In the military, they say, if everybody failing the test, then maybe the teacher has to look at how they're giving the test. Maybe we need to review a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you need some extra study guides. And I feel like there's I'm telling y'all, there's so much miscommunication on the field all the time from guys. And of course, you know, you have some, I think about the loss of Jordan Lewis and how he told me verbatim, he really connected the front 7 to the back 3, or however many people's back there. And then also too, you lost Sanborn yesterday, which Sanborn wasn't there. And again, I know
he can help communicate.
He can help communicate at the very least. I think the communication was not where it needed to be. But going back to Eberflus, Dallas blitzed 5 times yesterday. I understand being nervous about the back end, but this quarterback has not shown you that they are able to fight to play the blitz. That's something that's on tape. That's something that shows in the numbers, is that when you pressure this guy, that he struggles, Bryce Young, he struggles to see what the right read is. Give yourself a chance, because the time that they did blitz, was a few times when they did blitz, it was beneficial. Now, they did try to throw some stunts. I will give you Eberflus some credit. They did try to throw some stunts, some twist in there, but guys didn't play their assignments. So it's a mixture of execution and also too, you know, what is going on right now. So I don't know what the answer is, because I don't know if you have the adequate personnel to do some of the stuff that he wants to do. But then I am also like, well, even if you did have the personnel, are guys going to be doing their job? And this is not something new. We've heard this from other coordinators. We heard this last year before at the beginning of the year with Zimmer. Like, I don't know. It's just not a good. It just doesn't feel good even when you're watching it.
Mm-hmm. But at this point of the last year, things were starting to turn with the defense.
A little bit. They were starting to
it was
pick
starting
up
to come in. And
yeah.
going back to your question, Bree, about changes, defense, particularly defense in the season, or just with a coordinator. I mean, other than when Wade Phillips was fired in
That's what I
2010,
thought.
it was his defense, and he called the plays, right? He gets fired as head coach. I think that was after 7 games into the season. Go up to Green Bay and just lay an egg up there, and Wade Phillips gets fired as head coach, and so and defensive play caller, and Jason Garrett goes from offensive coordinator to now the head coach. And so Paul Pasqualoni was promoted to defensive coordinator, and he wasn't one of Wade's guys, so to speak. Pasqualoni, a lot, if that name is familiar, beyond Cowboys, head coach at Syracuse and just a longtime coach. So he came in, and then after that, I think it was when Rob Ryan was hired later, after the season and all that. But other than, what was that, 2010? So,
happened.
Yeah.
Here, unlike other organizations.
Yeah. But it was because you moved the head coach out, and he was the defensive play caller, that it was essentially almost like a change there.
And for Jerry to not talk yesterday,
He know what time it is.
he knows what.
Today's his birthday. I feel bad for him because
They did this
they're
thing
having some
last
hard
year.
conversations.
I think it was, who did they lose to
Yeah,
real bad
yeah,
at
that was a
home
loss.
on his
Yeah,
birthday. They keep messing up his birthday.
I don't like that.
I remember that.
I'm not gonna let them run mine now. But
She'll be free Slurpee or Slurpee samples
on
at
her
the
Slurpee
game watching
gulp.
party at the
Not
Miller
gonna-
Lighthouse.
You're not gonna mess mine up.
Stop.
But no, I think also too, when you talk about the defensive line, like my gosh, guys, like I think that there's an issue. We talked about the inability to get pressure. We talked about, these guys not being able to get home like that. Again, I think it goes back to some of the personnel stuff, is that, you have certain guys that you can have on their own rundowns, but they can't be on their own passing downs. And you don't really have a speed rusher, which is seriously what people look for a defensive line at this point, is that you at least have one guy that can win off the edge consistently. And you're not seeing that. Like, some of these passing downs, their inability to get off the field on third and longs and third downs, it is decimating. It's demoralizing. And I'm sure it really is. If we feel like that, I can only imagine how they feel not being able to get off the field on third down. And to your point earlier, teams are really attacking your linebackers in the passing game.
Real bad.
They are going at your linebackers in the passing game. They don't believe that they can get to the spot. They don't believe that they're going to tackle them where they are. It's just, even if we talk about the run, the pass is killing you too, like you ladies were talking about earlier. So this is a tough spot to be in. It's a very tough spot to be in. Like I said, I don't know what fixes it. I guess I want to ask you ladies, this is where I'm at with it. Because we were just talking about, before we came on, this offense and what they've been able to do and what they are. At this point, are you aggressive? Because I felt like if Dallas won this game, then I would want for them to, and maybe they get a win against Washington, then I would want for them to try to make some move or do something to supplement what this offense is doing. How are you ladies feeling about that now? Do you feel the urgency still to try to balance out this team, because it's so unbalanced?
That was very much unbalanced.
What would you do right now? Because you got to figure out how to keep this locker room together, no? We can't just say we're going to just keep doing this every week and be close in games, because the quarterback is not going to let you just get killed in games. He's too competitive.
But you're saying supplement the offense. Why not try and supplement the defense?
Well, that's what I mean. Supplement the defense. You're going to supplement the offense if you supplement the defense. It's going to help them. That's what I meant by That's what I meant by how do we make it balanced for them to feel like they have a fair shot in games.
Yeah, and I think Bree said, this would be an MVP year for Dak, right? And you've only got 2 wins, so I don't think you can waste this season.
I don't think you can either. A lot of people are just like, let's just wash it. Let's just, and I'm like,
that's a loser mentality.
I agree. I'm like, you can't do that. I'm not about to start doing draft work.
Right. And that's where it feels like it's headed. Last week,
Shade.
It's facts.
That's where it feels like.
But last week, the frustration looking in is like, it felt like you were like, arguably 2-3 pieces away from defense to having a winning season overall. And then this week is like nobody showed up. And to your point, Aisha, it's not just us sitting up here talking about, okay, the defense, they look confused. They're telling us directly after the game, we don't know what we're supposed to be. People, the scheme isn't working. There's too many busted coverages. Like, these are coming from the player's mouth. So that's when I'm telling, there's more questions than answers. And it's going to be beyond Matt Eberflus. Schottenheimer's plate is full as well. What do you do at that point? That's why it seems like a stretch, obviously, if someone gets fired. That's not what, to Christy's point, that's not what they do here. And maybe even a stretch from what I'm saying, someone else take over the play calling. But, like, it don't feel too much stress when you have Dak Prescott in year 10, healthy, playing MVP type of football right now. And if they had a winning record, he'd be in those conversations. But he's not, and that's not fair to him and what you're asking him to do. And I guess you can hope CeeDee Lamb comes back next week and they put up 40 points, but it's going to feel, at this point, what we're seeing from the defense, going to feel like a coin toss of what the defense does. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
Let me ask y'all something. History shows that this team won't try different things in the play calling area. I'll say, just because you brought up Wade Phillips, how they that was back in 2010, you said? 2010. History also shows that they are not necessarily the most aggressive team when it comes down to getting to the trade deadline, which is November 4th, by the way. At what point do you decide, okay, we actually want to have success this season and go out and get a player or maybe 2 defensive players specifically to kind of better this team?
Well, you have the draft capital after the Micah trade.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The NFC East, the Eagles ain't running away with it. They got their own problems, right? This division is still ripe for the taking. And as down as everybody is today, and rightfully so, because it was pretty dismal yesterday, and we're all lamenting that, and that's fine. It's Overreaction Monday. We get it. And I agree with everything that's being said, but just about. But you're a game and a half out.
Talk about it.
You're a game and a half out of the NFC East. And it doesn't matter what the NFC North does, and it doesn't matter if Tampa Bay runs away with it or the Rams and Seattle keep winning. All you have to do is win your division. And by the way, you get a home playoff game.
And it never repeats, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Since the early 2000s with the NFC East, with the Donovan McNabb Eagles. That's how long it's been since it ain't over yet, right? And so I expect the Cowboys to be aggressive at the trade deadline this year because the offense is there.
It's there.
They're trying to win now, yes.
Yeah. And it's there, even just seeing George Pickens. I know we're going to talk about him in the next segment, but seeing George Pickens playing the way he's playing and just having fun with it, and that's without CeeDee Lamb there.
Yeah, since when do we feel like a CeeDee Lamb is not involved in this offense? Again, a Kevontae Turpin who's become Kevontae Turpin is not just a gimmick player. I mean, number one, he sets up your offense with the return game, and we saw that wasn't as efficient yesterday as well.
Bad.
So you missed him. So not only is Dak, like you ladies mentioned, the offense. Not only is the offense having to drive more of the length of the field now because they're not getting starting field position. But yeah, you're talking about George Pickens and Dak and him just enjoying playing football together. I never would have thought that Dallas, not having CeeDee Lamb, would be able to operate in the passing game the way that they were able to. Rod Flournoy having another strong day at the office. Not as crazy as last week, but efficient. it's one of those things where I feel the same way. I'm like, hey, you need to make a decision on what you're gonna do. But again, like Bree was saying, how beneficial is it going to be if you go out and you expend, again, if you're going to expend draft capital, you better come on with it. There needs to be some answers and solutions, and how is this going to look, and what is this going to look like if they do that? And I don't know if you have any certainty on if other players are going to make this system all of a sudden start working. Because it doesn't seem like the operation of it is working well anyway. Not saying I want to be aggressive, but for what?
Smart.
Want to be smart about how you intend on doing that. And that means some people going to have to sit down or they're going to have to go to the house.
That's okay.
On that note, we're going to take our second break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, because we ain't going to the house yet. So we're going to be right back with more of the show after the break.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
How does the cheerleaders' hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days, presented by SeatGeek. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium. Meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on October 18th at AT&TStadium.com/rallydays.
Welcome back to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign and WBC Studio. Nicole Hutchinson, Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, Aisha Morrison. Wake up! I only did that one time this show.
This is second time.
Wake up!
That's
okay,
three.
That's it.
I really do think it's impressive that you say it in the same key, in the same cadence. That's my music.
Consistency. Somebody.
It's all about consistency.
You don't be flat. You be right.
Thank you.
Perfect pitch, sister.
Wake up! Every time. Wake up!
All right.
Never
That was
fails.
good.
Thank you.
It is pretty good, ain't it?
Appreciate it. You know who else has been consistent? George Pickens, GP3.
I know he's having the time of his life.
Yes, 9 catches, 168 yards, 1 touchdown. Talking about the kiss to the fans and the hurtling over defenders.
Sleeping on the ball.
It was just ridiculous. It was fun, though. Fun to watch.
He's so crazy. I tweeted that he looked like, when he catches the ball, y'all, he looked like he running. He looked like a kid that be running. They got something in their hand.
Yeah,
And
that's a fact.
And it's crazy because first of all, let's talk about the separation. Come on, route runner,
that
George
part.
Pickens. The separation is so great. he be scaring me the way he be carrying the ball, but there's no one near him most of the time. So he just feels like he can freely maneuver. I love how he can get, I'm not sure if I'm using the right verbiage, but he gets skinny in the open field. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like he's so slim and slippery in the way that he's able to maneuver through tackles. All of 13, shout out to Bobby Bell, all 13 of George Pickens' receptions on 3rd and 4th down this season have been converted for first downs. Pickens is also second in the NFL on 3rd and 4th down receiving yards with 211, only trailing Cortland Sutton. What a stat, number one. And when you think about, again, losing CeeDee Lamb, you know who also, too, when he's available, is one of the best wide receivers on 3rd down? CeeDee Lamb. So to get George Pickens in here and to kind of maintain that, and let's talk about it. Dallas has been behind the chains the last 2 weeks. It's been a lot of 2nd and 10s, 2nd and longs, 3rd and longs, and Dak Prescott and this receiving core has still been able to continue to move the ball downfield and get these big 3rd downs when they needed to in these games. So shout out to George Pickens. He's playing great football, ladies.
Yeah, but when he switched hands and then freed that hand so that he could deliver the blow, it's like, ball protection, don't do it. You know, and yes, that was yes.
He got a hitting problem. Because he got a hitting problem. I seen him. It's supposed to be a stiff arm, but it's a stiff slap.
And by the way, your hands are important when you're a receiver. Maybe don't crash them into an opponent's helmet. You know, it's like, wow, but that was a heck of a play. But you're right, sleeping on the football. Like, see, if just as recently as a few years back, that would have been a penalty because you couldn't use the ball as a prop.
Stop. That's crazy.
So that's when it was no fun league. That's when
They have some fun.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what to do with Ocho Cinco was out there still.
Acting a fool.
Salsa.
The game has changed.
What you got, Bree?
To your point, Aisha, when you're looking at what Pickens is able to do when he's on those one-to-one is amazing. And the stat I wrote down yesterday during the game, so against zone coverage, 2 reception, 41 yards. But against man coverage, he caught 7 of 8 of his targets for 127 yards. That's on 11 routes. So out of 11 times going on those one-on-ones, 8 of them Dak saw him for 8 of those, and he was able to snag 7 of them. That's why he had the day he has. And that lets me know that the trust with Dak and Pickens is exactly where you want it to be, because if you think about where they kind of started, it was a slow start for Pickens when CeeDee was out there. Mm-hmm. So my hope is when he comes back, they're able to figure out how to utilize them both, because I think this is like the perfect confidence for Pickens, because I feel like he, in his mind, and he said when he got here, he's a number 1 receiver. He knows whose offense this was, but in his mind, he's coming into like a number 1 receiver. And I think we also saw him in the beginning trying to figure out how to stay involved in this offense when you are hitting CeeDee Lamb for all those reps. Now you have another guy who's proven that he can be your number 1. I think if Shoddy, who I do have faith in as a play caller, is going to be able to figure it out, because I think now Pickens feels like what he can be for this team, and I don't think you saw that when CeeDee was healthy and here. Mm-hmm. So I know there's talks about him possibly coming back next week. It's going to be a great time because they're facing the Commanders. It's going to be an important game, obviously, like you mentioned with the standings. But yeah, Pickens is with the highlight. I was like, I was in the press box. I was like, what am I gonna do? Because TV, I have to like kind of focus. I was like, what am I gonna talk about? They're like Pickens. And I was like, all right,
yeah,
it's fun and it's easy and he's consistent and he's showing up in big ways. And like I said, he is going to get paid. And I really, really hope this team figures out.
What I loved seeing was that it was a 2nd and 7 play, I believe, the conversion he made in early 3rd quarter, and then he goes to Dak, like, come back to me. Next play, 3rd and 2nd, sorry, at the 35, and that's when he broke off for that touchdown. So you're seeing his confidence kind of grow, which, granted, nobody wants injuries to happen, of course. And when you saw CeeDee Lamb go down, I feel like it was something that GP needed in order to kind of get those opportunities and showcase what he can do. I feel like he kind of fell... There wasn't really a true balance in terms of utilizing him the way that I feel like that Shoddy could. So hopefully, Shoddy continues to find a way to maintain the ball distribution like he's doing. But, I mean, overall, ladies, where does this team go from here?
I mean, at this point, I think you just keep trying to stack together. I mean, because we didn't talk about it that much, but the run game really struggled yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the beauty of having a balanced attack, is that you're not one-dimensional. Like, you're able to take advantage of a situation where he's like, okay, well, Dallas was like, we're not running the ball well. We can't get anything going on the ground. Let's pass this thing. And that's, to me, that versatility and that multiplicity that Shotty's talked about, this is why he's talked about it. Is that there's going to be times where it's hard to get things on the ground, but they were able to pass the ball. I'm not worried about the offense. That might be my only worry, I guess, is them trying to figure out how to continue, to Bree's point, how to continue to be balanced with these two receiving threats, because Shotty's doing things for Pickens that he hasn't gotten to experience as much. He's getting moved into the slot. He's getting moved he's getting moved to the outside. I mean, he predominantly with Pittsburgh was an X receiver, and him getting the opportunity to kind of show what he can do, I think, opens up your offense. So offensively, I just feel like you keep doing what you're doing. I don't really feel like we have a whole bunch of complaints about what they're doing offensively. It's defensively. How do you figure out how to at least just get 4-5 stops a game and put your offense in position to, or turnovers. You won the turnover battle yesterday. You did. You won the turnover.
Donovan Wilson got that interception in the first half. That was it.
That was a big play.
Yeah. My keys to the game for Cowboys Radio, it's Bryce Young. It was what we talked about on Friday.
He gonna
Bryce
get that
Young
ball
will
away.
give you the ball.
Yeah.
But just one time yesterday. But that's because you didn't have an effective pass rush on him, a consistent pass rush on him.
Yeah, he looked
put it that
very
way.
much comfortable. And to your point, to the run game, we haven't talked about it, but Miles Sanders is out now for the rest of the season. So I think we were just talking about how to kind of preserve the Javonte Williams greatness. And obviously the run game yesterday, I know Aisha will dive into the film. I don't know if that's totally, obviously they're in getting worked in the trenches, but also where they're not open lanes. It was kind of tough to watch because you've seen that we weren't even worried about it going into it, and it does feel like, okay, how do they remain balanced? Because that is the winning recipe for the offense going forward. We don't know what's going on defense, so like let's just make sure the offense stays where it is and keeps elevating while the defense tries to play catch up there. But I think that is a conversation what happens next, because that's a lot more on Jaden Blue's plate if he's going to be the 1-2 punch in Javonte Williams.
Yeah, 0 yards on 3 carries yesterday. Now, they only had 19 carries and only had 30 yards, so you can't put that all
because 13
on
carries
Jaden,
for
but
Javonte is the second lowest he's had this season.
Yeah. I'm sorry, 19 carries overall for the Cowboys for 31 yards, 1.6.
Yeah, the interior got they lunch money 8.
Boy, Ashawn Robinson. I mean, Derek Brown, but Ashawn Robinson. Boy, did he!
They
have
a
game.
really good
He
rotation
had a good
on
game.
that interior, and they let you know all day. Their safeties came up and tackled. Their corners flooded the flats. I mean, it was
That
just very
Merrick
little.
hits, and he impressive. Wow.
It was just very little there on the ground, but I don't know, y'all.
It's all right. It's all right, because we're going to dive into it tomorrow.
Hey, it's gonna,
Fine.
until it's gonna continue to be shootouts. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
With teams that they had their highest points this season was 30, and they matched it yesterday.
What are we? But the thing about not the Scooby-Doo sounds. With the shootout situation, though, is again, you asked, Nicole, what they should do moving forward. Try to keep this locker room together.
Yeah.
That needs to be the priority. And keeping this locker room together might be sitting some people down, having some conversations, letting, like, this team, this offense definitely is going to need to know. I'm sure there's going to be some questions, like, what is happening so we can balance out this team a little bit more? Because I can tell you, ain't nothing worse than doing a group project and you feel like somebody not pulling their weight.
Oh, I hate
Very much so.
It doesn't matter. Like, it's supposed to be a team sport. And they're not playing as a team right now. Whether that's on purpose or not, whether it's on accident, whether it's a scheme, whatever, that's my biggest concern, you guys, you ladies, is them trying to keep the locker room together. So if the division does open up, you guys are together enough to go get it. And there's not, finger pointing and stuff like that going on. That's my thing.
Well, on that note, they have to try and go get it on Sunday against Washington. And that's back here in AT&T Stadium. But we are back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. We're going to break down this run game and the struggles they had and dive more deeper into the film. For Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, Aisha Morrison, I'm Nicole Hutchison. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?